What is happening, Magnusites? So this is the second video that was sparked through Chadwick Boseman's passing. And the question is, or at least many people are writing me, telling me to get a colonoscopy. They're saying, you know, black men get a colonoscopy. All men get a colonoscopy. You know, don't take your health for granted. Men, you gotta take care of yourself. Chadwick Boseman was young. He passed away. If it can happen to him, it can happen to you. Make sure you are taking care of yourselves. These statements are very true. Many of you want to know my take on it. And I'm going to explain to you what my take is on it. Many of you write me all the time because you don't believe how old I really am. Even my own people who are used to black don't crack. And by the way, I met an Asian girl when I was working on Call Time, the horror movie. She told me, Asian don't raisin. And I was like, that one's good. I gotta tell people that one. So that's very true. Now, in my personal view of health, I take something that I learned from reading success books and inspirational books and self-improvement books. And one of the principles is, if you want to achieve something, look at the people that already have done it. And I look at the blue zones, the different points on the planet where people live the longest. I look at these cultures, their diets, their medicine. And there are several throughout the world that have been living much longer than us Americans. Their diets are much better, they're much cleaner, their medicine is much more powerful, mainly because they do not eat foods that have been, perverted through the manufacturing process and chemicals and stabilizers and preservatives and all these other things. And their medicines are their food, and their food is their medicine, just like the father of modern medicine said. So they use herbs, they use their vitamins and minerals and fasting and juicing and dry fasting and energy work and acupuncture and acupressure and stretching and deep breathing work, massage and many other things that people have had access to on this planet for thousands of years. And that's where I go with mine. I'm going to tell you guys something that I've never told anybody publicly. And, you can believe me or not, that's fine. You don't have to. I guess now is as good a time as any to tell you guys. I don't think I've even told Scarlo this, but I did have cancer at one time. I had skin cancer, and I also had liver cancer. I had a couple of spots on my liver, and a couple of growths on my skin. And how I personally got rid of the growths that happened to me, which, by the way, I think that there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of treatments for what we call cancer for a long time. It's just what you, I guess, subscribe to. I mean, certain people put a lot of faith in certain types of medicine, and it just doesn't work, and it hasn't been working. If you keep doing something over and over and over again, you keep getting the same outcome. It's a form of insanity. Try something different. But I'll tell you how I got rid of my growths. The skin cancer that I caused to go into remission I used oxygen therapy. I have several videos on oxygen therapy. All you need to do is look up Tyrone Magnus oxygen therapy. I took the oral route where I diluted food grade hydrogen peroxide with distilled water. And it took, let me see, how long did it take to get rid of it? 1 week. It took 3 weeks. 3 weeks to kill those growths on my skin. The liver cancer that I caused to go into remission. I used juicing. I used a juice fast. If you look at my Nama juicer video, I juiced the exact juice that I used to get rid of my liver cancer. It went into remission, I think, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Lemon ginger blast. Look up the juice. I personally use the recipe that is around 9 or 10 years old. It's the oldest video you can find on it by the Life Regenerator. Dan the Life Regenerator. That's the one that I use. Yeah. I refuse to use certain types of medicine anymore. It's my personal view on things. I saw my mother go through it. She died in 2005, and when she died in 2005, I made it my passion to understand and know my body the best I could, because she died of breast cancer. Being her direct descendant and looking just like her, I'm thinking I may have inherited a lot of traits physically from her. So I decided to make my life and my body my passion, and to become the ultimate version of myself, become as healthy as possible. And while I do have my own problems as far as eating goes, I have a huge sweet tooth, and I'm a junk food junkie, and I fight it all the time. And it is the reason why a couple of years ago I fell into a type of a depression, and I was eating bad. And it was a depression where it was caused by myself. You know, they tell you fear is false evidence appearing real. That's what it was. I got into my own head. There was no need. And the majority of my life I've been in exceptional condition and fitness and health. And remember, guys, just because you can bench press 400 pounds doesn't mean you're healthy. That's why it's not just called fitness or health. It's called health and fitness. It's a combo you should strive to have 100% and 100%. Guys and their egos, you think you're the shit just because you got washboard abs and you can bench 400 pounds, and you could drop dead the next day, and the guy that's softer than you because he was healthier than you lives much, much longer. You guys have got to understand this. There's a difference between what the outside package looks like and what you look like on the inside. Trust me. So I made all of these my passion. Positive thought, breath work, diet, energy work, acupressure, acupuncture, stretching, being around positive people, feeding my mind positive things. There's so many things to staying healthy. And if you're doing all these things correctly, you're going to be one of those people that get well above 100 years old. Okay? There's cases of people in the 120s, like routinely in Okinawa, and in a part of Pakistan, I believe, Pakistan's mountains. They juice a lot of apricots, from what I understand. They have a very simple diet. And there are several other sections around the planet From what I understand with Chadwick, he was a vegetarian at one point, or vegan. I do not know what he was when he developed the cancer. I assume that he probably wasn't vegan his whole life. I believe that happened to Michael Clark Duncan. I believe he was into, lifting and meat. And it's not always just meat, a lot of times it's other things involved in the type of meat you're eating. The meat that we eat these days is very polluted with a lot of things, and you got to make sure you're getting very pure meat if you are eating meat. But I could talk about this all day. There's some people that should eat meat. There's some people that shouldn't eat meat. From what I've learned in my travels, there's some people that respond very well to veganism or to fruitarian or whatever it is, pescatarian. There's several different ways. I suggest finding a doctor that works with all of these and can tell you what's best for your body type. So I was able to defeat cancer twice in my life. And this is my first time telling the world or anybody. Like I said, Scarlett doesn't even know. And it was because my thoughts brought me there. It was a downward spiral into how I felt about myself, about how I felt about life, certain things that were going on. I deluded myself and just fell into a depression for months. And I am so happy that I ran into my physician at the Nutritional Wellness Center in Palmyra, New Jersey, 1 Cinnaminson Avenue, because he saved my life. He saved my life. I owe him my life. Man. Anyway, folks, that's my story. And that's all I have to say. Take the route you want to take. And just so you know, anyone attacking me because of my opinions on health, your comments won't show up. Trust me. Talk to y'all later.